Welcome from the CeBIT Preview 2017, where we're here with two BenQ displays. We have a 32 inches with a QHD resolution on my right side, and then on my left side also UHD resolution with the PD3200U. So UHD is obviously a little bit more expensive with a really high resolution on that side, but we have all kinds of amazing features built in. Like, for example, we have the full sRGB range for colors, and we have an IPS panel for the UHD monitor. We will both check out from a little bit closer, also from the ports, and then we have USB on the back, HDMI display port, and even a Kvm Switch inside, so you can use just one mouse and keyboard for both devices at the same time. If you have two different PCs, that's kind of a nice solution. For me, a little bit missing is a USB Type-C in this generation, but in the future that will be probably also built in. So there's also pivot, so you can also easily move them up and down. There's also a mouse on the bottom, so you can switch from one mode, like for example CAD mode, to maybe a video production mode easily with just one press of a button. And the new menu here to actually use the whole monitor itself is now touch on the front with the buttons, but you can also use the mouse to navigate through the menu. So let's check them out a little bit closer. Here the new PD3200Q and the 3200U monitors by BenQ. So now we have the monitors, in this case the 4K display in front of us, and it looks not only pretty but has actually beautiful colors here running right now with 4K. So why do we have here on the bottom this weird little area? Well, this is actually a sensor, so it knows if you're sitting in front of the PC, not with a camera, just with a sensor. If you're sitting in front of the monitor, then the monitor will stay on, and once you go away, after 10-15 minutes it can turn off. That's obviously optional to use. Also is optional to have an automatic dimming function built into the monitor. Both features are off by default, but you can turn them on if you want. For example, via here, just an easy menu that you can now use via touch. As you can see, we have on the front 5 little buttons that are really well working. And for example, we could now go through the picture mode for CAD animation standard, low blue light for night working, dark room, for example, and you can also set a user-specific color mode, for example. We can also just hit the X button, and we can also do all of this with this little mouse. So for example, if I just press the OK button, we will get here in the full menu, and then we can go through the whole thing by just using these real buttons, or we just go here with the back to the Mac. And what we now also have actually set up here is a full Kvm Switch, which means we can just press the 1 and 2 for this monitor using the mouse, for example, and keyboard with, or on the right side then the other mouse. So we can, or the same mouse. So we have here the mouse running. As you can see, the mouse is right here on the bottom. I can move it, and you can see here this tiny white little mouse. On the right side, if I press the 2, it goes to the USB upstream 2 via USB. It will send the information with the mouse. You can see the mouse now right there, the same mouse. I'm moving the same mouse. Now you can use that on the other PC also. So this could be your desktop PC, that could be your notebook, for example, and you can use both with just the same keyboard and mouse, which is quite nice. So thank you for tuning in, and let's continue with the back parts. What ports do we have, and so on the PD3200U and Q by BenQ. So we have now the ports on the back. As you can see, we have HDMI twice on the UHD device, then a display port, a mini display port even, and for the QHD resolution you would have as a secondary HDMI just a DVI for the PD3200Q. I don't have to show you that because otherwise they're exactly the same when it comes to, for example, SD, two USB 3 ports, and then also here on the bottom the headset out. There's also speakers built in, but here on the bottom there's even more cables coming out, and just one of them on the complete right side will be the USB hub that plugs into your PC. Then we have two or actually even 3 full USB 3 ports and one USB cable for the mouse that is optional. So you don't have to plug that in, but obviously it's a little bit better to use the software with, if you ask me. On the far away side there's just a power cable, and that's not that important for, I think, most people. So thank you much for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe. This was the really short hands-on of the PD3200U monitor here by BenQ.